Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Lord IBO Hards, and you're watching CIC CORP Exchange Television, and this is a Wide World of Trade report. Hey, I think that was the longest geek ever. It was like 18 seconds. So this one is called True Optimism. So we're looking at the U.S. economy, as we usually do, because it's one of the largest economy. We haven't done anybody else, China lately. So we're looking at durable goods. They're not good. Plus a dismissal. December's employment report has raised questions on the functionality of the U.S. economy. Is this a recent one, or is this a later one? Concerns of the U.S. of recession looms as the economy plays Jenga with its leaders. Employment after Fed programs rewrite and interest rates could be major headwinds in the later part of the decade. One could argue that higher rates will be terrible for businesses in the broad markets. Moreover, more lack of stability within markets is within markets. Okay. As Ukraine, Egypt, and now over the past 3 years, a slow-growing economy coupled with what seems like an everlasting debt crisis in Europe is not good news moving forward. That makes a lot of sense. That was put together by Moxie Research and a couple other economists there, and we're sharing it with you here on Wide World of Trade Report. CIC Corp Exchange, Lord IBO Hards, Wide World of Trade Report, True Optimism. People are still interested in mortgage-backed securities and treasuries. Now, here's the real deal. Well, it's all the real deal, but here's a concern. This is what concerns Lord Hards. In 2007, housing hit a high mark and are still 20%. And real estate is still 20% lower. The government regulation of housing has stimulated and sustained growth in housing. Housing today is a disaster compared to what it was in 2007. You have active management versus indexing. There's an asset bubble in housing. There's short interest in housing, and Main Street is losing round one in housing. That's because the rents are going through the roof. Down, straight across the economy, the housing, the rents are just ridiculous. I don't know, different parts of the country, but down in the southeast region of the United States and South Florida, housing rents, it's just wild. I mean, it's like, wow. So you look at the rate, it's not just the price, it's just the rate at what's growing. You can back test it. Then you got this comes from off a CIC, and we did a little segment for them on this True Optimism on Wide World of Trade report. The gold is testing highs. The stimulus, the QE plus the stimulus, this dividing banks, bailouts are not needed, but it confuses the stimulus and the quantitative easing, which is in the stimulus, and okay, there it is, and interest rates is confusing the economic recovery. You still have revisions in economic data, and across the spectrum, across the pond, we're looking at the Singapore dollar the Thai baht, the Philippine peso, the Indonesian rupiah, and the Malaysian ringgit. Now, back to the U.S., job numbers concerning people who aren't looking for a job. The job and the housing are always going to affect the U.S. economy, especially the jobs, and it's causing volatility in U.S. index markets. The employment hub is threatening the economic recovery in the U.S., which is building an asset bubble in U.S. indexes as well. Job employment rates and taxes are only for people who work, which makes sense, because if you don't work, you're not paying taxes. Half of the citizens don't pay taxes. So this is another problem moving forward for the U.S. economy. Can this turn into a fiscal catastrophe? Will government expansion be needed moving forward? The government will be the job growth. Could be. Economic concerns, slow recovery, increasing the minimum wage of the United States. The United States leadership needs more money in the system, and they will get it in the forms of stimulus to raise debt ceilings and other and use other quantitative measures. For the demand is the focal point when dealing with the realm of employment. Technology at its highest on the planet, yet it is very pessimistic and uncomfortable sentiment rising concerning a solid economic recovery in the U.S. And you wonder, can you even trust technology today? The solution is not short-term trade. Why? Because there are millions upon millions of Americans who are not ready for the future of the largest economy. Again, technology is more advanced than ever, and in fact eclipsing manufacturing in the job space. This is not a doom or gloom scenario. This is just a reality, and Wide World of Trade Report brings it to you like that. With that being said, untrained, uneducated Americans become a liability to the U.S. economy, as many are able to find work as demand for the remedial employment diminishes and the technology calls for training and education in every entry level. CIC Corp Exchange, Lord Ebo Risi Hards, Wide World of Trade Report, and this section is True Optimism. Thank you and have a very blessed day. Goodbye.